So, boys, where should we start?
No, let's do the 80s, because he's probably more interested in talking about Godzilla, probably.
You're right. Okay, so Justin, I'm passing the mic to you. You chose. I'm not going to say anything. Go for it.
So, today, we watched Nukie, a wonderful 1987 garbage fire of a movie that came out for some reason. It is. Did you ever watch Mac and Me?
I know it. I can't remember if I saw it,
where do you find these movies?
Mac
I've
and Me
never heard of these movies.
Mac and Me was a Walmart version of E.T. and was also garbage.
This is even worse.
This is a Wish.com version of Mac and Me.
Wow.
I don't even I would give it that much. Like, I'd expect a little more from Wish than that.
Mac and Me also gave us the wonderful GIF of some kid in a wheelchair getting pushed off a cliff or whatever, and that's probably more than this movie can say. So I'm going to start off with just reading the Wikipedia.
Yeah. Okay.
So Michael Paclapa, whatever, German distributor of films, optioned Nukie before it was even shot and without reading the script, but it was impressed by the poster, which gave impressions of E.T., but in Africa setting. Upon seeing the film, Paclapa was flabbergasted by the end product and said the following of the viewing experience.
Oh my God.
We thought we'd all die. There was no South Africa, there was hardly any extraterrestrials, and we basically just saw discussions between a nun and a helicopter pilot who were going on and on about how stupid black people are, or something. Imagine that again at extreme length with nothing else. After discussing the experience with the executive producer, Gregory Constanto, whatever, the two tried to make a new edit of the film in hopes of removing the racism, but after the process, they only had about 40 minutes worth of usable footage.
Oh my God. Oh, that's hilarious.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Chris, you watched it yesterday. How much of it did you watch?
Okay, so I messaged Justin after about 10 minutes and said I wanted to kill myself. And then I only got to about the 35-40 minute mark, and I was like, I can't watch any more of this. Not only is it the worst movie I've ever seen, it's probably the worst thing I've ever seen.
Also the costume. So they went back and they tried to do a bunch of reshoots and stuff, but they kept getting bogged down because, and I quote, the animatronics for the aliens so poorly constructed and were designed to be worked by small children who could only wear the suits for about 3 to 4 minutes at a time before risking suffocation.
Wow.
That to me is more interesting than the movie itself.
Yeah.
Did you really just type in worst movie ever made?
No, I just went through a list of 80s movies and then I
went through a list of 80s movies and this stuck out.
Yeah, well, it was like, oh, it's an adventure. And then I started reading into it. And I was like, oh, this is possibly the worst movie ever made. Oh, okay, cool. And then a bunch of years ago, Red Letter Media did a thing about this because one of the sealed VHSs of this went for tens of thousands of dollars.
Really?
And they were just like, what? So they got a bunch of sponsorship money and they bought all of them and put all of the VHSs of this movie in a wood chipper.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So the movie goes, alien, one lands in America, one lands
so they're siblings? Or?
Yeah, they're brothers or something. One lands in Africa. They try and get to each other. The government gets involved. The one in Africa meets these two kids whose names are borderline the exact same. And then it can telepathically talk to a monkey who has a shirt. And then the alien brothers, they meet up finally. And then they teleport back to their ship and they take the monkey with them.
Right. And the one in America is just being tested on.
Yeah.
It's almost like that scene from E.T. at the end when it gets captured and they're just doing tests on it.
Yeah.
And he's in a lot of pain and they're talking to each other or trying to talk to each other.
And then there's a bunch of scenes where a nun just starts talking shit about all the people in Africa. Then they just keep cutting to her.
Yeah. But the one in Africa does steal a helicopter.
That's true, he does. And then he flies it to America somehow. It's like a tiny little punter helicopter that can maybe you know, it's like you have it around your farm.
Yeah.
Then you need to whatever.
Yeah.
It can maybe go, I don't know, half hour or whatever. And they're like, yeah, Atlantic Ocean, no problem. I'll bring a couple jerry cans. It's fine.
Again, the 35 minutes that I watched, even the people, like the people, like if is it the U.S. government or whatever? They're just horrible. Like their lines of dialogue and everything were just like, and again, when these aliens or whatever, Nukie is just kind of walk around. It's almost like just make anything up. Just go. There's nothing going on there at all.
Oh, the sun is hot. Okay, I'll have a nap. And then it close-ups on him having a nap.
Yeah, he has lots of naps.
I think there was like some subplot of like, because he did mention, the sun is so close to this place. I'm not used to it.
Okay.
So it's like they tried to have like some plot and lore of like, oh, they're not used to our sun and that's how they're tired, blah blah blah, but it was never like expanded on or anything.
And just the way they looked was just like, it's almost like you remember being in like art class in like grade 5 and you make something and you just hate it and you just like throw it away. That's what it looks like.
Oh, totally. It was like, this is the first version of, they're like, all right, well, here's the suit, you know, you can only wear it for like 2-3 minutes. This is just for test footage. And they're like, we're filming tomorrow. And they're like, shit.
But we're filming right now.
Yeah, good. Camera's rolling. Get the kid in there. My son's here.
Yeah.
It's like, bad movies are good. This is not one of them.
No.
It's funnier to read the stuff on the internet about it than it is.
Well, just what you've said was more interesting.
Yeah.
Like I saw the poster and you're right. The poster looks okay.
It does.
You know, I can't believe they approved it.
So don't watch this movie. It was really hard to find.
Yeah.
Is it harder to find than Willow?
Well, yeah, because Willow is scrubbed off of the internet.
What's better, Willow or this movie?
Willow.
You've come to a new depth.
Willow's better than this.
Willow finally beat something.
Willow finally is better than something. Because
if you like cheesy movies, I guess maybe.
No, it's not even cheesy. Like I had an edible and like a 12-pack, and it was I still was not having a good time.
I ended up staring at the light bulb, and that had more plot.
People go into hard drugs.
Yeah. So if you want to have a good life, don't watch this movie.
Good life.
Anyway.
Nelson Mandela considers Nukie to be one of his all-time favorite movies.
What?
That's what it says in the trivia on IMDb. 7 editors worked on this film.
Oh my god!
Because they kept quitting.